The 12 logical fallacies. Presented by Group 2. But first let's see this lit intro we made. Okay, that's enough of the whole intro, let's go back to the original petisk. Number 1. Ad hominem. Ad hominem can be frequently found in Facebook, just like these low IQ comments from a religious debate group I just saw. I blocked the religion names on purpose, since I don't want any spiritual fights to uprise xddddd. Think before you click. Number 2. Appeal to force. An appeal to force is an attempt to persuade using threats. Its Latin name, argumentum ad baculum, literally means argument with a cudgel. Here is a visualization on appeal to force. Or maybe this. As you can see, Francine is expressing force on Ma, because Ma would not accept her idea. Therefore I can conclude that, if person 1 does not accept person 2's opinion, person 2 will use force in order to get his or her idea to be agreed upon. Number 3. Appeal to the popular. Appeal to popularity or argumentum ad populum is making an argument that something is the right or correct thing to do, because a lot of people agree with doing it. This type of fallacy is also called bandwagon. In this photo, Angelo and Ma sport haircuts that are not recognized by the school. But they continue to do it, because everybody does it too. Number 4. Red herring. Red herring or ignoratio elenchi is the attempt to redirect the argument to another issue to which the person doing the redirecting can better respond, or in a nutshell, you're just changing the topic. It's hard to explain, so I'll just use a dialogue. Francine, why are your grades like this?
Why are you asking about my grades? All that matters is I am a good daughter.
Number 5. Appeal of pity. Appeal of pity, or ad misericordiam, is the attempt to distract from the truth of the conclusion by the use of pity. Here is a clip that shows the fallacy in action.
Ay, kasama ka ron! Yung pera! Kaya actually po sir, biktima rin po ako dito.
The suspect tries to change the subject by putting pity on himself. But it didn't work, obviously. In this photo, Ma is teaching when Francine gets bored of his lesson and tries to cut classes by saying her stomach aches. But Ma falls for the fallacy and lets Francine go out.
Baby, I don't understand this.
Number 6. Appeal to tradition. Appeal to tradition, or argumentum ad antiquitatem, is an argument in which a thesis is deemed correct on the basis that it is correlated with some past or present tradition, or in a nutshell. In this photo, Francine is Sky's daughter. Now, for 5 generations every daughter of their family must become a doctor, so Francine has no choice but to become a doctor herself. In a brief explanation, Francine must become a doctor, since it had been a family tradition where every daughter must become a doctor.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Number 7. Equivocation is using an ambiguous term in more than one sense, thus making an argument misleading. In this photo, Angelo is sharing his complete name, which is Jose Angelo Santos. Knowing this, Mar and Sky thought that he was smart and charming as the national hero. To explain, they thought that he was somehow related to the national hero, just because of his first name. Number 8. Fallacy of composition is inferring that something is true of the whole from the fact that it is true of some part of the whole. This is the opposite of the fallacy of division. And once again, in a nutshell, we will base this on the Filipino saying. In this photo, Sky and Francine are talking aloud, but Thea and Mar are busy doing their performance tasks. Since Angelo caught the two chatting, he decides to punish them all. Number 9. False dilemma. In this photo, Sky is talking to Francine. Sky said to Francine that, while she was gone, their class took a test. Sky told Francine that she could wait until tomorrow or just be absent, despite the fact that Sky didn't mention that Francine can take it during dismissal time. Basically, Sky gave Francine two choices, but there are more than two choices for her problem. Number 10. Genetic fallacy is basing the truth claim of an argument on the origin of its claims or premises. In this situation, Francine's family are a bunch of smart and intelligent people. Living with these standards, Francine gets a low result in her exam and gets gossiped just because she didn't live up to her family name. Number 11. Non sequitur is when the conclusion does not follow from the premises. In more informal reasoning, it can be when what is presented as evidence or reason is irrelevant or adds very little support to the conclusion. In this scenario, Francine is from another classroom and her friend had just took their math test. Francine asked what was her friend's score, but her friend said that the quiz was hard. Number 12. Poisoning the well. Poisoning the well is to commit a preemptive ad hominem attack against an opponent. That is, to prime the audience with adverse information about the opponent from the start, in an attempt to make your claim more acceptable or discount the credibility of your opponent's claim. Literally, it's just gossip, but with extra flair. In this scenario, the three girls are gossiping about a teacher who gives hard quizzes despite being a minor subject. Number 13. Begging the question. Begging the question or petitio principii is any form of argument where the conclusion is assumed in one of the premises. In this situation, the advisor of 10 prudence called them as the best section, thus making 10 prudence believe that they are the best section. Basically, if claim X assumes X is true, therefore, claim X is true. Number 14. Cause and effect or questionable cause. Questionable cause or cum hoc ergo propter hoc is concluding that one thing caused another simply because they are regularly associated. An example here is when the rain pours, students will immediately conclude that there will be a suspension just because it rained. This person doesn't even suspend classes at all. So there you have it, the 14 logical fallacies. I hope you enjoyed the video, which took me 12 hours to process and make.